Hello, I'm Alice McVeigh, and I'm reading a short excerpt from Harriet, a Jane Austen variation. This is when Jane Fairfax is in Weymouth, and she is getting closer to Frank Churchill. "You were even quieter than usual, Miss Fairfax," said Mr. Churchill, glancing round at me. I said, "Oh, I am merely admiring the day and the view from the boat," though my eyes instead sought the wooden planks at my feet, for he gazed at me so intently. He said, "You look like a mermaid at the bow of a ship." At this, I believe I blushed like a schoolgirl. Mr. Dixon then challenged him. "What say we rest a little longer, and then attempt to see how fast this crumbling old barge could move, if we both give our best?" We swayed on the surface a little, while Mr. Crawford kept up a continual flow of wit, and while the rest vied to be the first to spot rival craft in every direction. Eventually, the two oarsmen agreed to turn the boat around and to attempt their utmost speed westwards, taking advantage of the easterly wind. I held tightly to the boat, chilled by splashes from every direction. Soon sweat bedewed Mr. Churchill's face, while the veins stood out on Mr. Dixon's neck. All the rest were shrieking out their encouragement, while I clung tightly to the prow, and we sped faster and faster. We occasionally hit a wave at its crest, jarring the boat from end to end, which delighted Mr. Crawford particularly. "Harder, Dixon, harder! You cannot match him," he mocked from the stern, causing Mr. Dixon to pause, oars braced in the water, probably preparing some swift retort, which never came. Instead, there was a great shudder from my end of the craft as it lurched sideways, tipping me half in and half out of the sea. Caroline screamed, and I gasped with shock at the chill waves about my shoulders. Then I was caught about the waist by Mr. Churchill and by the sleeve by Mr. Dixon and hauled back into the boat, breathlessly coughing up seawater, conscious of Mr. Dixon's grip on my upper arm and of Mr. Churchill setting me back in my seat.